when you are in avidya, in ignorance, you are a river going down the mountain, being angry about being a river going down the mountain. And when you are in vidya and wisdom, then you will just be a river going down the mountain without any opinion about it. We are speaking today about some little nuggets of Karma Yoga. This will be a repeating thing. Karma Yoga is one of the royal paths, as it is considered, and it's a path that has been revealed by the great avatar Krishna to the great hero, the great Vira Arjuna. And we can find these revelations in the Bhagavad Gita, one of the sacred texts in India. And we've just done a little random choice, and we'll today comment upon verse 5 of chapter 3 of the Bhagavad Gita, which says the following. All men are forced to act helplessly according to the impulses born of the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment.
So basically this quote says that contrary to this belief that we choose to act and we can choose to stop whenever we want to stop, it is not like that. You see, people normally move towards freedom by external action. There is in all of us this longing to be free. Even in a worm, there is this longing to be free. And we move according to that longing to action, believing that there is freedom in that. This verse is a preparation. It says, why you cannot stop acting? Because you are bound to the three modes. It's not the gunas, it's not explicit here, but it refers to tamas, rajas, and sattva. And as long as your soul is intertwined in this world, in that particular way that Krishna describes, with the thought, I am the doer, this will never stop, and you will be obliged to act forever. There is no freedom in that. He will explain later how you can let's say, direct that deep inner call to freedom instead of directing it to external action, which is described and proven, and you can read here, and you can read Buddha's description of the wheel of samsara. It doesn't end. It always looks like, and after a few more steps I'll be free, and freedom is just around the corner and just around that. It's not there. It's a different dimension. It's not horizontal, it's vertical. So once you realize and somehow lose all hope and redirect all the energy that you are wasting when you try to find freedom that way, you find freedom by shifting profoundly your attitude. You find freedom by devoting yourself completely to godly action. That's what you will do. And then what happens is that the universe, which is anyway acting through you now, does it without interference. You see, right now, we all act, and the universe is acting through us to a degree, 1%, 90%, and we have a false sense of self. We attribute to the action, I'm the doer, 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 which distorts the actions, creates personal karma, svakarma, which will ripple and oblige us in this whole cycle of samsara. All the maya, all the suffering comes because of this stamp, I am the doer. And what Krishna will suggest later on is that you stop putting that stamp. The universe is anyway working through you, is anyway acting through you. Don't interfere. Stay centered. And when you stay centered, the influence of the gunas, tamas, rajas, and sattva, it doesn't influence you. And you, instead of being the doer, becomes the witness. And what do you witness? How the universe manifests through you. This is how it's done in Karma Yoga, and it's described very nicely also in Bhakti Yoga of Narada. He says, what is Bhakti Yoga? Is doing all the time the will of the deity you love, and when you don't do it, you feel tremendous pain when you interfere. Tremendous anguish. This is really what it is about. So here, this particular sutra is a Sutra of Despair. You come to Krishna and you say, Krishna, I'm searching for freedom. I'm going east. And Krishna is saying, 100%, zero chance you find freedom in the east. You have to go up. Up, take away the stamp of the doer. Let the universe work through you. Now, inwardly, psychologically, try to contemplate what it would mean. Yeah, we can close our eyes for one moment. Imagine the genie comes, or rather Krishna comes, and he says, my child, I am pleased with you. If you want, from this moment and to all eternity, you will do nothing. I will do through you everything. I will speak through you. I will think through you. I will move the limbs through you. I will go to the toilet through you. Everything I will do through you. From this moment on, you will do nothing, think nothing, and speak nothing. You will be there to observe the whole fun. What would you say? And if you were to say yes, said yes, Krishna, I renounce. What would that feel like? To know that forever and ever you will never act, never speak, never think. You will watch actions. You will watch yourself speak. You will watch yourself think as you watch yourself digest now. As you watch your pulse moving without your interference, so you will see yourself think and speak and act and do great things and small things, but you will never act and you will never feel for a moment that you are the doer. And yet you will witness and enjoy the whole ride. What does it feel like? There is no possibility of mistake anymore. And there is no praise for doing anything. No condemnation, no guilt, no shame. Just godly action manifesting through your body and mind, and you observe it. Karma Yoga. And that's very good. We can gradually come back. It's a good exercise if you want to do it and really enter it even for 15 or 20 minutes and just contemplate, because we carry a lot of burden from this what if I would make a mistake. That's the end of that. What if I'm guilty? The end of guilt. Perfect godly action. You just don't do it and you don't attribute for it. It's a big relief.
So, dear friends, if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Hear the bell and the gong and everything.
Ring the big bell. So, for me, this verse, I liked very much how you were describing the okay, Krishna, I want to be free, I go east. And then Krishna says, yep, nice try, it's not going to happen. It's a reminder for me how the illusion works somehow. he even describes that these modes of nature, or the gunas, as Oriel was saying, they hold you in a certain place, and there's no way for you to act apart from them, to act out of them. But the ego has this interesting illusion that it thinks it is out of that. It thinks it is free to choose something. It thinks it is okay to steal this little thing, to say this little lie, to act selfishly over here, and it's going to be fine. The ego has this idea that, it's going to be fine. Why don't you, just this little bit for yourself? Why don't you keep just this little bit to yourself? Well, because there is no self. It's not possible, right? The whole concept in itself is an illusion. And for me, contemplating this verse creates this fundamental shift which leads from non-enlightenment to enlightenment, from entanglement in illusion to complete freedom, which is the shift from avidya, the ignorance, the non-knowledge, non-wisdom, to vidya, the perfect wisdom, the perfect understanding, the perfect knowledge. And for me, one wonderful analogy that my teacher would like to use to understand vidya, to understand wisdom in comparison to avidya, to ignorance, is when you are in avidya, in ignorance, you are a river going down the mountain, being angry about being a river going down the mountain. And when you are in vidya and wisdom, then you will just be a river going down the mountain without any opinion about it. Without being like, okay, I'm anyways going to do it. Yeah, you don't have a choice. Don't pretend as if, well, yeah, I'm going to do what God says, but as if it is your choice in that way. Your choice is to be angry about it or not. It's not the choice, are you going down the river? No, down the mountain as a river. You are going down the mountain as a river. It's a given. How are you choosing to feel about it? You are a conscious river. Are you going to be like, oh, look at me going down the mountain? Look what I do. If I wouldn't have chosen to go down, it would not happen. No, bollocks. It would happen anyways. Who are you to choose? Look at this orchestra which is happening. Sure, you can sit there and have an opinion about it, but that's really all you can do. And that opinion is going to make you suffer. It might bring you some pleasure first. When you are acting selfishly, you have the idea, okay, I get some little things for myself, I get some little pleasures. And then guess what? From those pleasures, you're going to suffer because they are going to be taken away from you, because you will realize that there's no such thing as operating into your own pocket. It will create karma, and the karma will hurt. And on the long run, any opinion that you put on being a river going down the mountain will hurt you. And when you let go of your opinion of going down as a river down the mountain, it will stop hurting. And then it will even become blissful. So for me, this quote very much represents this part, this realization of karma yoga, which is you are already part of an ever-acting, ever-moving universe. Now, you could have an opinion about it, but for what? Because it's just going to hurt. It's just going to prolong the illusion, prolong this idea that you are someone doing something. Why not realize that you are part of this magnificent universe that is already operating through you, that is allowing you to witness its glory, and then exactly entering this state of observer that Oriel talked about, which is somehow the core element of karma yoga. And on a practical note, you can try it throughout the next few weeks to observe all your activity, physical activity, but also inner activity, as such a flow of a river. Not, okay, I surrender and whatever, I become a blob of nothingness. No, observe how the river of life is already pushing you to act in a certain way, to take responsibility for certain aspects, to show up, to step up, to act due to necessities that need to be fulfilled. Like Gandhi when he was cleaning that toilet when it was time to do what? What conference was it?
It was the Indian Parliament.
Indian Parliament, and he didn't show up to the big speech, and everybody's like, what's happening? Well, the toilet was dirty. I was there, I was the one to clean it, so I didn't go to the very important speech because the river was flowing this way. It was to be cleaning the toilet. So watch your own activities inside and outside from this viewpoint of not resisting what the universe is trying to make you become. Don't resist the glory of it. Don't resist the difficulty of it. Don't resist the effort of it. Let it happen. Let yourself be born into that process and discover yourself as that river.
Well, when you integrate in the flow of the river, you are enthusiastic, you are alive, you are sparkling, you are free, you are light. There is no doubt about it. It's like, what's the difference between mediocrity and ecstatic bliss? It's very clear. You know, if you are buzzing with life and so radiant and free, and inside of that, maybe you feel to walk very slowly, because that's the thing to do. Nevertheless, it's glowing with the freedom of life. Then you are walking very slowly from an integrated place. Whereas if you feel sad, conflictual, doubtful, confused, angry,
Heavy.
upset, and heavy, and you are walking very slowly because of that, it's very, very clear. When it's integrated, it's sparkling with life. It's amazing, it's ecstatic, and it takes away the doubts. So if there is a doubt, it's not yet there. If there is no doubt, but just this enthusiastic freedom and peace and love of pure life, then it is that. The difference is extremely obvious in the inner state. Yes, and until then, you see, you move from tamas to rajas, from rajas to sattva, so from inertia to action. That's the steps. If you are in inertia, just act. And if you are in action, act wisely, in a balanced way, and then you move from rajas to sattva, in a selfless way. Act selflessly, and you move from sattva. And then from sattva, from balance, you go into transcendence. That's the path. So if you feel inertia, act. If you are already acting, act selflessly, balanced, and with wisdom. And if you are already acting selflessly, with wisdom, in a balanced way, transcend. That's the path.
Simple.
Simple.
Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content on spirituality, Tantra, and more.
And if you want to sign up for our online classes or for our retreats, you can see our website on the description below.